Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Crystal. Here we talk about relationship, dating tips, and travel every week. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you don't miss the notification for my new videos. As you can see, Pablo is with us today because we are talking about relationship. Today is a special episode because this Monday is actually kind of like our anniversary.
It's the anniversary date that I chose because it's the day I tried telling her I wanted to be exclusive, but I guess she didn't get it.
He brought me to the bridge. No, we went to a dinner first, and then he tried to have a romantic date with me, and then after dinner he took me to the bridge to walk around, and then he said something very like sentimental and tried to express how he felt about our relationship.
He was like, huh?
I didn't
fail.
I didn't know he was asking me to be his girlfriend.
Just be real straightforward.
You know, if you try to ask a girl to be exclusive, just ask. Just say, would you be my girlfriend? Don't try to beat around the bush. How did you say it?
Oh, it's because we're like, not like high school kids. So I don't want to be like, you want to be my girlfriend?
That's how you say it, guys. Because the way he said it was like, oh, I really enjoy dating you and I want to keep dating you. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's keep dating. So of course, that's how I didn't get it. But the reason why we are doing this episode is because we think that at the 3-year mark is a very special time. Since we did the How We Met video a year and a half ago, now I've been getting more questions from my readers. Today we are answering one question. I found it pretty interesting. So the question is, how did you know that he or she is the right match or the right one for you? And the follower asked us to answer from a girl's perspective and a guy's perspective. So my number one is I feel 100% comfortable when Pablo is around me. When we were dating, I realized that we can talk about a lot of different things. I can express my concerns, and we can even talk about a lot of sensitive topics. And I don't feel like, is he judging me, or like, is it okay if I bring this up? And that's a good sign for me to know that, I actually can be very open-minded and talk about like pretty much everything.
You should be able to feel comfortable talking about anything, because at some point something's going to come up, because if it comes up later and you're like, oh, I just spent 3 months with this person and I just found that out.
That's very important. Don't waste your time. If you have any concern, try to bring it up like subtly and then see how the other person react to your question. And my number two is I feel very secure and I don't need to guess where he's up to or where he is. I think this is very important, not just for me, but for a lot of girls, that a lot of times we might feel insecure when we are dating someone. And I think what Pablo is different is that I don't need to guess, what he's up to or where is he when we are not together, because he always updates me or he texts me all the time. And I know a lot of girls, maybe you have less security when it comes to dating, but in general, you need to feel secure.
I think for me, you made me feel like I had my own independence. You didn't make me feel like you're constantly like checking in on me, so I feel like I have my own life, which in that freedom I felt comfortable enough to say like, oh, I should just give her a quick update about what I'm up to or I've been, just so if she's gonna be that special someone in my life, I can't just treat her like a friend that I just like peace out on, and then like 20 hours later it's like, oh, hey, hi, she's the girl that I'm dating. So I should be more communicative. That's one of the good things that I like about you, is you respect my personal space and my freedom and my independence. And because of that freedom, I also felt like I should pay it back and also let you know what I'm up to. And it's part of being together, it's
mutual.
It's just communication and updating each other.
And my number three is he takes me seriously. He takes care of my emotion, my thoughts, and my feelings. The more we date, I realize he treats me really seriously in terms of, he always put himself in my shoes when we were discussing different things, or he introduced me to his family or his close friend circle. So I feel like, oh, I am involved. He invites me into his life. That makes me feel like, oh, I'm part of his life, and he really takes this dating or relationship seriously.
If you want to move slow, just play the dating dance, getting to know somebody. You can be a little bit distant, but if you're deep down, you're committed or you really like somebody, but don't be too crazy about it, but just throw a few signals out there to be like, I'm a reliable person, I'm a committed person. You don't have to be like, oh, just like diving into commitment, but, have a little bit of fun in dating. And if you know that this girl or this other person is somebody you might want to keep going with, start throwing out a few signals and open some doors in the directions that you want to go.
And my number 4 is there's a good flow in our conversation and we share common interests. To me, I feel like a healthy relationship, it's not just about, I'm so attracted to him or her. It's not enough, because in the long run, you want to have something that you enjoy doing together and you build something together that just keep exciting your life and make your relationship more fun. How I realized was when we were dating, many times at the end of the date, I realized, oh my God, like I still have so much to talk with him and I still want to say so many things to him, but oh my God, it's like time to go and I'm not done yet. That's how I realized, oh, like it's so easy and so fun to date him because we just constantly, talking, and I am talkative. So it's very important for me to meet someone who's like really engaging and who can keep up with my topics. And my number 5 is Pablo actually matches my key values. I encourage people to jot down the 3 to 5 things that matter to you the most when you're looking for a spouse or a partner. Back in the days, what I was looking for in my partner is he needs to be responsible and stable, and he needs to be caring and loving, and he needs to share similar values with me in terms of life goals, finance, career goals, and family. And the last one is, because I am Sagittarius and I'm really looking for someone who can be adventurous, doing all the fun stuff with me. And Pablo happened to match all of my criteria. And that's
Your main criteria.
My main criteria. And that's how I know that he's a good match.
Who cares about all the other stuff that I don't meet?
One thing I want to share in terms of this is that you might not know what matters to you the most at the moment. How you can find out is when you are dating someone, you just keep giving score. You can't help giving score in your mind. There are a lot of pluses and minuses when you're encountered with this person. Yeah, when I was dating Pablo, and I think 3-4 months down the road, I still didn't know if he's the one. And one time I was talking to my mom and I was all panicked and telling her that, I just don't know if this guy, I feel happy dating him, but I just don't know if he's the one yet. Like, oh my God, it's been 3 months. What do I do?
She was clearly confused.
And I was asking for help. And then I remember my mom telling me that, she was super chill, super calm. And she said, just keep dating. Don't overthink about it. And one day when you wake up, you just know. I was like, Mom, like, what are you talking about? I'm asking for advice. Like, she said, no, just keep dating. One day you just know. And I was like, oh, whatever. And then I follow her advice and I just keep dating Pablo. And I think 5 months into our dating, and one day I woke up and I just have a very strong feeling that he's the one. I want to go with this guy.
Great. So you gave me 2 more months, from 3 months to 5 months. Subconsciously, I kept scoring those subconscious points.
So now looking back, I want to tell everyone out there who is still figuring out, who's confused, like how I was. You might not consciously remember everything, but subconsciously you're giving score like here and there, and then to a point that it becomes your aha moment.
Yeah, consciously you might not be able to explain to yourself or to others at some point, like, is she the one, he the one? You say, I don't know. That's because your brain is taking in so much information day to day, and then you sleep on it, and the next day your brain has processed it. So subconsciously you may not know, but your brain is keeping score, and then one day you wake up and you're like, yeah, no.
So that's how you can find out. Just be patient and then keep hanging out, keep dating this person. And just like my mom said, one day you wake up and you just know. That's real.
Boom! Well, I think I want to start with the idea that finding the one hits you when you least expect it. When I first started dating Crystal, I had only been recently using online dating apps, not for too long, because you mentioned that you had been on constant online dates before you found me, and you were probably like my 3rd or 4th one, and you were always like, I can't believe I spent all these years looking for somebody, and you just log onto the app and you find me, which was lucky for me. Again, finding the one hits you when you least expect it, because I had recently been kind of seeing a girl before I met Crystal, and I told her, and I really genuinely felt in my heart that I wanted to be single and I wasn't ready to commit to a relationship, and I wanted to keep dating because I was in a point where I felt like so many possibilities for my life were ahead of me and I can go in many directions. I thought about moving out of the US to go work in a different country and maybe meet people in a different country. I was really excited about possibilities and not settling down or finding the one. And then my fourth date was Crystal, and she ended up being the one. Finding the one hits you when you least expect it. Not ready to commit to finding the one, boom, found the one. Like you mentioned, keeping like subconscious score, I was like, date after date, I was like, wow, I shouldn't let go of this girl, because even though I just said to myself, like, I want to keep dating, she's too good to let go. So I think I need to keep doubling down on commitment. So knowing if the other person is the one, I think the first sign was the very first time that we met, when we were chatting online before we even met in person. I had a really good feeling about Crystal, and I think we covered this in another video before, but you reciprocated on text message. I was like, you know, I like a girl that can contribute to the conversation and keep it going, because it shows that she's interested. We desperately find somebody that we find really attractive, and we like desperately want them to like us back. And you throw out some conversation starters, or you try to contribute and they don't contribute back, and you feel like, is this person interested? For me, if somebody's not interested in me, then I don't want to be interested in them back. I like how she engages in the conversation. So that led me to the next step. My number 2 is that you can spend a whole day together and feel super comfortable. I think it was our third date. We went on a dog hike. At least that was like the first part of the date, the only idea for the date. It ended up being a whole day together. And at the end of the day, it was like 10 p.m. We were sitting in a bar or at BJ's watching sports, drinking like a wine or a beer.
And eating dessert, And
I was like, wow, we just spent the whole day together. I didn't even realize, like, it felt so natural. It wasn't forced or anything. We were able to be comfortable around each other, carry a conversation. That was only the third date, and we had spent the whole day together, and I was like, oh, this is a good sign. You don't come across that too often. My number 3 was when I realized I couldn't check any negative boxes on Crystal, and that was a few months into dating her. What happened was I had been eating lunch in the cafe at work, and somebody who I hadn't seen in a while came down and joined me for lunch. And I started telling him about the fact that I was dating you, and he was like, oh, that's cool. Tell me some pluses and some minuses about this girl. And then I went down the pluses. He's like, all right, what about the negatives? And I took a pause, and I was like, wow, I really can't think of any negative things to say at the moment.
Ooh.
And he's like, come on, she's got to have some negatives, obviously.
Wow.
Everybody has negatives. But at that point...
That's only 3 months in, guys. That's only 3 months.
I was like, wow,
she's... He hasn't seen everything yet.
Yeah, that was only 3 months, so...
Okay.
So it goes back to your point, you know, just like over time, subconsciously or consciously, you're keeping track of the other person's pluses and minuses, and as time goes on, they can either be ahead on the pluses or ahead on the negatives.
What about your number 4?
No. So before I go on to my number 4, I just wanted to go over my list. And obviously you have a recommendation that you focus on the top 3 to 5 things that matter the most, and everything else you can weigh how important that is. But it's really important that people at least meet the very like non-negotiable criteria that you're looking for in a partner. I had a list that I wrote down, I don't know, a long time ago, about what a girl that I am interested in should have or should meet. You
wrote down a list for your future partner?
Yeah, because so many people always ask me, they're like, what are you looking for in a girl? Or girls will ask me, so what are you looking for in a girl?
I never had a list like that. Okay.
No, I just wrote it down because I feel like so many people ask, and I'm like, at least I should know for myself what it is that I'm looking for. I just pulled it up. I knew that it was still here. So for me, a girl has to be intelligent, sophisticated, cultured, sociable, good graces, friendly, young at heart, fiery, playful.
Oh my god.
Beautiful, curious about life, has plans to see and do things in life, would make a good mom. Not necessarily looking to have children, or like, I'm not saying that making huge plans right now, but you got to keep your options open, because if you go the distance, if you go the whole way, she's got to be a good mom if there's going to be children one day. Is healthy. So if she's healthy, which, you know, I didn't realize, but you're really healthy, which has imparted more health on me.
He's not healthy.
No, it's good, because like, you don't eat red meat, so now that we've been living together, I mean, I'll go out and get a cheeseburger every so often, but I definitely don't eat as much red meat as I used to.
Yeah.
And I took 2 physicals, one before I met her and one after I met her, and all my levels went down. Like my...
So, you're welcome!
if you care about your own health, pick a healthy partner. Somebody who's nice, who's caring, who's intimate, who's sensual, has to have some sensuality.
That's
some
a very
intimacy.
long list, Pablo.
Has her own life so that we don't bore each other, relying on each other too much. So you can go do your own thing, I can go do my own thing. So I'm not saying these all have to be met.
Wow, this list was written down in 2013. 7 years ago, what the heck? Wow, the law of attraction, guys.
Law of attraction, so at least write it down and then...
You're sending a signal to the universe of what you're looking for, you know. Subconsciously, they will bring it back to you. No. I think I might only meet like half of it.
It's about spending some time with the other person, dating the other person, and then one day you realize like, wow, they're checking the boxes. Okay, my number 4 is Crystal came up with the idea of moving in together at some point. And I thought, you know what? It's probably time to give it a shot. Maybe somebody that you're dating for a while, you don't live together, but when you live together, so many different things pop up about yourself, about the other person. You start unchecking some of those boxes. But when we moved in together, and this is actually something my dad said when he was raising us and our family. He said, you know what, son, you're gonna have enough problems and challenges in life out in the world that when you come home, I want your home to be a peaceful place where you can feel safe, feel peaceful, feel loved, because you're gonna go out there and you're gonna come up across so many things, and when you come home, you need to be able to unwind from that and feel safe. After living with you for 2 years, I'm just constantly reminded that when I come home to you, I feel like this is a peaceful place where we can have a loving place. And then we can relax, chill, and go out there and be the best that we can be. My last one is, I knew you were the one because you're significantly different from me in a way that challenges me. I have pretty good self-esteem, which makes me feel comfortable with the idea that I could have been single for my whole life, where I don't need anybody else to make me feel happy. But finding you and you being different from me has challenged my personality to just become better. I don't think I ever would have actually started a business. Who knows? You forced me to go after my dreams a lot faster than I probably would have if I had been by myself. Yeah, I want to start a business one day. If I had dated somebody that was very similar to me, we would have been like, yeah, starting a business would be a good idea. And then like 3 years later, we're just like, how about starting that business? Yeah, man, we should do it. Yeah.
We really thought it through to this question. We took it very seriously. So that's all for our tips. And I think especially during this quarantine time, it's even though we cannot go out to see someone or date someone in person, but I think it's a good time for you to really think about how you feel about the person and what you are really looking for.
Yeah, the quarantine time is a good reflection period. You should definitely reflect. Denial is a really easy tool that seems like it can solve your problems. Relationship-wise, you may have some denials that you're dealing with about a person that you might not be thinking is the one, or you might have some denials about yourself and the person is actually the one, but you're causing these denials that's making you not realize that they're the one. Open up those doors to those denials and reflect.
We'll see you soon in our next one.
Bye. Bye.